We are protesting the Back to Work 107 that Minister MacKinnon, and we are letting our Ginette Petitpas know that we're not very happy with what she did.
Why were the police called, do you know?
Because we were inside the building and they were saying we were trespassing, and then they told us that no, if we stayed in the hallway that we're not trespassing.
Were you able to talk to Ginette Petitpas Taylor at all?
I was able to talk to Ginette Petitpas Taylor last night because I was coming back from Ottawa and I was waiting for my plane and she got off the plane. So in the airport I had to keep my tone down, but I got to talk to her last night and I told her my disappointment and she knows my disappointment. But we also want her to hear from the rest of the employees here how disappointed they are, because it needs to be said.
How do you feel about going back to work tomorrow?
We're waiting now. We're waiting on the National. We don't know what's going on. The National is meeting at this moment, the board, and I know it ain't going to be a happy face going on the floor tomorrow morning if we're forced to go back tomorrow morning.
What do you think about the use of back to work orders?
We think that lately the Liberal government has used it 3 times in the last 3-4 months, and it's horrible that they don't let us use our rights to negotiate a proper contract.
What is the main issue that is stopping people from ending the strike?
There's the weekend delivery, which is already provision in the contract to do weekend delivery, and there's our health and safety. At this point, there's many ways that they changed our conditions to work, and it's impeding on our health and safety, and we have the highest rate of injury on duty in any government across Canada.
Why are you here today?
Because I'm fighting for our constitutional right to get a contract negotiated fairly, not legislated back in. I think it's wrong. I think that they need to let us negotiate fairly and stop butting in. The government should not be involved in this. This should be between Canada Post and the union.
People have been talking about the high rate of injury at Canada Post. Is this something that you've noticed here in Moncton over the years?
We are a high injury rate job. We're out in the elements all the time. We're constantly battling dogs, snow, rain, sleet, hail, you name it. Since the 86, we've been everything. You're up and down 20,000 stairs a day. It's a high injury rate job, but we do the job the best we can, and nobody wants to be injured. We all want to go home safe and sound to our families.
What do you make of the backlash that CUPW has been getting? Like businesses saying this is impeding their ability to stay in business?
We don't want to hurt the general public. We're here just to basically get a fair contract. Canada Post hasn't negotiated fairly in the last 4 contracts. We want a fair contract. We are paid the same across Canada. In Moncton, it's totally different. I get that companies are frustrated but we're frustrated too. We're just asking for fairness and an ability to fight properly for what we want.
Have you ever seen a strike this long since your tenure with Canada Post?
86 was a long strike, 81 or 86, I can't remember the exact date, but yes, this is the worst one in a long time.
How about the way that how far your wages go and cost of living is concerned over the years? You've worked at Canada Post for all these years. How does that change in terms of affordability?
In 38 years, my wage has gone up $15. So that's 38 years, $15 in raises. I started at $14, $13.86 to be exact, in 1986. I now make $30 an hour. Yes, it's good wage in Moncton, but it's not a good wage in Toronto and Vancouver and all that. In Canada Post, it's right across the board. Everybody makes the same. And when you start out at Canada Post, you are not making that. It takes you 10 years to get to the highest level.
And there's this issue of the 2-tiered pensions as well. Can you just comment on that?
I don't know much about the 2-tier pension. It just came in the last contract. What I'm understanding is when you come in, it's a totally different pension than what I'm getting when I retire, which that's unfair too. They're going to be working 30 years. They should have the same benefits that I had. My parents worked for Canada Post and they fought in the 60s and 70s to give me what I have today, and I'm here fighting for the younger ones that need to have a good paying job to support their families in the future as well.
And before I wrap up, I wanted to ask about strike pay. I think it's $56 a day. How's that been for you?
It's rough, I'm not going to lie. Thank gosh I have a husband that works as well, but there's a lot of single parents out here. I feel for them every day that they're out on the line, they're trying to make ends meet. This is going to be a rough Christmas for everybody. I just wish Canada Post would come to the table fairly and give us what we deserve and what we need. I wish the media would give more fairness to both sides. They're only showing the Canada Post side. They're not showing the union sides. They're not showing that Doug Ettinger pays himself $400,000 and takes a $120,000 bonus. And how many CEOs under him that make over $300,000? We have 15 vice presidents that make over $150,000. They all got bonuses while we were out in COVID. We were out, they sat at home in their office or at home, and they got paid bonuses. We got nothing, yet we were out there doing everything that we could to keep Canada Post going. We just want fairness, and in the media as well as everything else. Like, show both sides, not just Canada Post side.